Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Bernie here along with Pete.
Yo, dog.
Today we got a little bit of extra charge.
Extra charge,
guys. So, if you guys didn't know, late breaking news last night. I know we said we were going to talk about LiAngelo Ball until there was something that happened in his basketball career. Well,
it already happened.
Something happened. And what happened today was that both LaMelo and LiAngelo signed a contract to with a Lithuanian basketball team.
Prienu Vietautas.
Yeah, Vietautas. They play in the main Lithuanian league, and they also play in the Baltic Basketball League, where they do very well. Mm-hmm. Will they succeed? Will they not? Let's find out on the extra charge.
The extra charge. I like that.
James. LeBron James all the way in.
And here comes Simmons the other way. 3-on-2. Simmons eludes the defender and lays it in with that.
Certainly the length altered that shot. Out of the window. Steps and crutches.
Play right there.
Porzingis from Jennings. Throw down a foul.
Irving. Splits the defense with the dribble.
Let's start it off. So, if you know, they signed to this Lithuanian basketball team. A lot of people have been, talk shows, First Take, Undisputed, all those guys. They've talked about it. They've said what they have to say. But, we don't even care about those guys. We're here to talk about what we think on the chart. So, let me ask you your opinion. What do you think of this move for the Ball brothers to go to Lithuania?
I like it in the sense that they weren't trying to just make quick money. Like, they're obviously not going to be making very much money. I think it's like a 1,500 or 1,600 seat gym that they're going to be playing in. It's in Lithuania. It's like, this isn't a big money league, obviously.
Yeah, it's like $500 a month.
So I actually think it's pretty smart because they're going to destroy LaMelo in particular. I think LaMelo is going to do really good.
I'm worried about him. Bob will talk about it later.
Absolutely, I couldn't be less worried about him in this Lithuanian league. I think he's going to destroy people. And I'm not trying to discredit the Lithuanian Basketball Association, whatever we want to call these group of people. But LaMelo is widely considered to actually be a decent NBA prospect, Mm-hmm. So, as far as, like, if he was competing in a college setting, he's playing against less competition than he would in college, right? So this gives him a chance to just, like, show off pure skill set, which, as far as getting drafted is concerned, is good for him because he actually does have a decent skill set. Mm-hmm. So because they're not gonna credit his competition very much as far as the drafting is concerned. So who he's playing against at this point, now it doesn't matter because he is playing against a bunch of people that nobody knows. So now it's up to him to show off his individual prowess as a scorer, which is what he does. And, I mean, if there's anything that the kid can do, it's he can score, Mm-hmm. So I think if he can show actual just, like, some more progression from what his high school, mixtape videos were showing, I think it's a good move for him. I think it's not. I'm not going to say guaranteed, but it gives him a pretty good chance of getting drafted. Mm-hmm. That's just my perspective because I do think there's a lot of the biggest problem with European talent. Like, he's not necessarily European talent, but now he's playing in Europe, so getting the eyes on him is usually their biggest challenge. Like a player like Kristaps Porzingis, nobody knew who he was, and that's why a lot of New York fans booed him when he came out.
Right,
but the people who had a chance to watch him play were like, wow, this guy's super talented, Mm-hmm. So LaMelo Ball and LiAngelo Ball, more so LaMelo, doesn't have to worry about the getting eyes on him process. Like, it's guaranteed to happen. So he just has to do his thing over there. What are you thinking about this?
The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the fact that LaMelo Ball hasn't developed his full strength yet because he is only 16 years old. He should be playing at a sophomore level, but he's a junior. Yeah. And the only thing I'm worried about is that he's still a little too weak in terms of I've seen some of the games and like highlights of the Lithuanian league itself, and even just the B League because this team plays in both we'll just say like a junior varsity and then a varsity level, and they dominate in the JV level. But the varsity level, they struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
But those guys are big and strong, and they're men.
They're men.
Those guys, like, you see how they have muscle onto them. Meanwhile, LaMelo has this kind of skinny frame because he hasn't developed his body yet. And that's what this still going to high school and then potentially going to college would have done for him in terms of getting stronger, getting faster, and also getting a little bit taller because I'm hearing that he also might have a growth spurt in the near future because he's only 6'3" right now.
Mm-hmm. He's only 16, too. So.
Yeah, so he should be, at least maybe like an inch or two shorter or taller than his brother LiAngelo, I think.
Yeah.
Or not, LiAngelo.
LiAngelo is 6'5".
Did I say
He's a
LiAngelo?
couple inches.
Lonzo, sorry. I meant to say Lonzo. I think he'll be... Lonzo's like 6'7", 6'6". So I think LaMelo will be around that area.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the only thing I'm worried about is he's so offensive oriented with him is that like his defense is going to be very lax compared
LaMelo?
to which is what's going to be worrying, and that's what scouts are going to be like pointing out as one of his weaknesses and flaws.
Yeah.
I know he's only 16. I know he's only like a kid, but you signed up for a men's league at the age of 16, so you're going to have to get stronger. You're going to have to get better on the defensive level because these guys, I'm sure some of those guys that are in the Lithuanian league are probably looking at him saying, like, who the hell is this punk kid joining our league? We're going to bully him around. We're going to try to get some mismatches with him, and we're just going to bully him.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe that'll work to his benefit. Honestly, I think that's a good look because college, right? Nobody really cares who they are necessarily. I mean, if anything, if LaMelo and LiAngelo were playing in college right now, the spotlight's probably pretty positive as far as other college players are concerned because they see them and they're like, oh, I want to gravitate towards this person because they're famous already. But like you said, the Lithuanian league, they don't give a shit what the Lavar Ball family is doing, So they are going to try and bully him around. But that's what would happen in the NBA. That's what's happening to Lonzo.
Yeah.
So maybe for a player like LaMelo, a young kid who, he's going to get the learning experience that Lonzo's getting in the NBA right now early, and maybe it'll toughen him up before he even gets to the NBA.
Yeah, I feel you.
It could be some good practice for him in the future.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the Lithuanian league is probably a little bit harder to play in as far as just physicality is concerned than the NBA.
I think it's like either the 11th or 12th best league in Europe, which is not bad. I mean, there's tons of leagues in Europe, so.
Yeah, there's some good ones too.
But, I think I agree with you there is that, like, I think this will eventually help him in the future. But just thinking about LaMelo and his chances to go into college and just thinking about that prospect, he's the seventh prospect in the nation.
Okay.
Of all kids in the U.S. Second in his position, I believe, and then first in the state and region.
Pretty good.
So, to me, I'm still kind of questioning LaVar Ball as to why you would take him out of that system. Because, obviously, they saw something in him to where, like, he will get a very good shot at starting at UCLA and also playing a lot more minutes in UCLA. I think this was more of a move for LiAngelo in terms of trying to get him a better shot at making an NBA roster because I have here real quick a tweet from Adrian Wojnarowski, who's a reliable source, saying that LiAngelo Ball has no chance that he'll be drafted in June, and that is true before his shoplifting incident in China. He's not on anybody's scouting list and even the extended list.
Well, the thing about LiAngelo, have you watched any of his game? He can't do anything really except score in the low post, and even that he's not super good at.
Yeah.
He's not a good defender. He can't shoot the three. He really can't do anything, honestly. Yeah. He's not very good. The only reason he got to UCLA was because of his brothers and his dad, Yeah. And then he blew that. So I don't think he's ever going to be in the NBA. I would be shocked if LiAngelo ever sees the light of day.
Yeah, and that's where I get confused because I think LaVar's got to realize that these are still kids. They still want to grow up. They still need to, mature a little bit more. And you're kind of forcing them to be men when I don't think they're ready to become men yet.
Yeah.
And, I mean, just look at, like, how LaMelo was supposed to be this highly touted prospect, going to UCLA, already committed, had a scholarship already waiting for him, essentially, to all of a sudden, just because one of your sons isn't good enough to play basketball, you're kind of risking that. Well, I mean, there's still a couple of years. Can you join a college after you become professional? I'm assuming no.
I don't know about European basketball.
No, because I think
NBA definitely not. Like if you went to the NBA,
yeah,
and then you wanted to go back to college, you couldn't do that. But
Yeah.
European, I have no idea. Like Lithuanian basketball, honestly, I don't know why they would care.
maybe it's different because I think we've had instances like that. Like I think Enes Kanter was supposed to go, or I think he did go to Kentucky.
He did go to Kentucky.
So I think it might have been something like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, just thinking about it like logically, I think you needed to just let LaMelo Ball be LaMelo Ball. Let him go back to the high school. All the coach was saying to you was, hey, can you just take less shots? Mm-hmm. Which is not a bad thing because, I mean, if you think about it, if LaMelo wants to be a very good NBA player,
Yeah.
he's not running the offense that he runs when he was at Chino Hills, which is just jack up threes from half court and then run back.
I mean, to be fair, look at Phoenix with Devin Booker.
Yeah, but Devin Booker can actually score in the paint.
No, I know what you mean. I was just kind of kidding. But that's basically what he does in Phoenix right now.
But, like, is it going to be successful to where he's going to be, like, champion? No.
I mean, Devin Booker, they don't really win games with him doing that. So, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, not necessarily just because I want to, but I actually believe this. I think this is a good move for LaMelo.
Okay.
Because they've already cut ties with the high school, right? Chino Hills. He's not going back there. The college thing is like it goes to the whole discussion. This applies to a lot of different college players, right? Because let's think of Marvin Bagley, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't need to play in college right now. It goes with the whole one and done rule. He really doesn't need it. If he went and played in the NBA, he'd honestly be decent already. But the consideration is what is a better learning experience? Because let's look at Ben Simmons' time in college at LSU. That was an absolute waste of time for him.
Yeah.
He didn't need it. And I'm not saying that LaMelo Ball or even Marvin Bagley is as good as Ben Simmons, so don't take that from this. But the college game sometimes is so dull and dumbed down to the level of competition you're playing because you're playing a lot of college teams in the NBA or in NCAA basketball, and people don't like to think about this, but a lot of them are a bunch of kids who don't even necessarily care about basketball. They're just like it's something they do while they get their degree. Mm-hmm. For a lot of like most kids, that's what they're doing. Like not every person in college has the aspirations of being in the NBA. So when it comes to a player like LaMelo, he already has all the attention. He's going to get drafted. All he needs to do is keep improving. And, as far as Lonzo is concerned, like the skills he had were very good when he was in college. But the things that he's struggling with are things that he wasn't going to learn in college anyway. Like the confidence and, taking on all the pressure of like a lot of eyes being on you. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but having adult basketball players, gunning for you, so to say.
Right.
So with a kid like LaMelo, who's even smaller than his older brother is, if he goes to this Lithuanian place, this team, and, keeps getting buckets like he was in high school, he's still making first-round draft appearance, Maybe not number 2 overall, but he's getting drafted. And they get to keep getting those checks with the big baller brand. They're making money.
Yeah, I just go back to the times that other players have done this in terms of play overseas and then go to the NBA. Mm-hmm. You had Brandon Jennings, who's not really doing anything right now. You have Emmanuel Mudiay, who did the same thing because he's supposed to go to SMU.
Played in China, right?
He played in China, came back. I mean, like, some of those guys have found success in terms of, they're playing decently in the NBA, and they've had, like, a couple good seasons. But I just think, in my opinion, I don't believe that going overseas, especially because I think what needs to happen is if you do want to play overseas, you have to start there when you're young and go through the development system in terms of going through the camps, going through like the schools, kind of like what they do for football or soccer.
Yeah.
Which I think then you can develop that skill, which Dirk Nowitzki had.
Chris
Stapps has it. Giannis. I mean, all these guys, they went to those camps and schools like for special training.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made it more successful than just these one and dones going to ball out in China, going to ball out in Greece or wherever other league they wanted to play in.
Well, maybe I don't know if anyone else is talking about this, but maybe that's the new move for some kids. Maybe if they can figure out how to do that rather than go to college, you go through high school, learn the American basketball system, and then you go and play in Europe instead of going for a year in college, and you get like the more fundamental skills, teaching and coaching, and then you come back. Maybe if you can maximize your time there and learn, what it is that makes European players so successful, then you mesh both of the styles of play.
I just think you need more time in Europe in terms of because when you're done with high school, you either have some players have the good habits, some players have the bad habits. So I think those habits are hard to go away, especially if you've been doing it since you're like 7 or 8 years old, and you haven't gone through like academies or skill camps. Because I mean, just look at our AAU system. I think it's broken.
Yeah, I would say the same thing about our college system. Honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything's broken. It's a broken.
But that's my biggest point with the Ball family going to Lithuania, like their family trip to Lithuania. What good was LaMelo Ball going to get out of playing at UCLA? Like, I honestly just I think the benefits of him just playing in Lithuania, it honestly doesn't hurt his chances of getting drafted at all. Like, he already is very highly touted by a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Like, LiAngelo, I'm not even talking about him anymore. He doesn't matter. He's just along for the ride. LaMelo is like, he's already got his signature shoe. Mm-hmm. These European people, probably when he starts scoring 50 points in the Lithuanian league, they're going to all want his shoe.
Right.
So they're going to start selling over in Europe. He's going to keep getting eyes on him because, LaMelo Ball just scored 65 in a professional league in Europe, which isn't that crazy, especially when he takes 40 shots. Mm-hmm. But the general public is going to see that, and they're like, oh, this kid's so good. It's the same thing with this 100-point game he had last year,
Right.
If you watch that game, it wasn't that impressive. He took like 80 shots.
Yeah.
And he was shooting from like half court. It doesn't matter, it's just stat padding.
Yeah.
Same thing with Devin Booker's 70-point game last season. It was a stat padding game. But that's what LaMelo Ball kind of does,
Yeah.
And that's what, teams see, this kid scores that many points all the time. We kind of want that on our team. Mm-hmm. I think he's getting drafted regardless. And now he doesn't have to waste a year in college. Like, he can play professionally with adult men.
Yeah, I think in the sense of a basketball move, I think it makes sense in some aspects. But in terms of a big baller brand move,
I think it's a good move for the big baller brand, too. I think they're going to keep getting those checks. They're going to get more of them, too.
I just think it was kind of like, okay, the UCLA thing didn't work. We have to change our plans.
Yeah. I'm interested, like, the one thing I'd say about LaMelo, too, is I don't think he was going to go there regardless. Because they pulled him out of high school. Like, I honestly think they were trying to figure something else out for LaMelo, regardless. Because remember, he had the whole signature shoe thing. And Lavar, this was way before the shoplifting incident. He was like, if he can't have his shoe, then he's not going to go to school, Yeah. He'll do something else. I don't think he was going to UCLA regardless.
Yeah, I just think I don't know. I will say, though, I would probably put more higher standards on UCLA than I would that Lithuanian basketball team, but maybe he signs another professional contract with a different team.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows? Maybe he'll play in Spain for a year. I mean, if you play in Spain, that's a really good league.
Yeah, I mean, you play in Spain, you play in, I think
France has some good teams,
France is not
too.
bad. I mean, like, if you just play in a better league, I think he has a better shot of, like, elevating his game. But this coach has been compared to a Lavar Ball-esque type of coach.
The coach for
the Lithuanian team, because he's very hot-headed, because there was a situation where they were tied 65-65 in a close game, and the coach gets ejected out of the game. So, A lot of people have compared him to that.
That's funny. Well, this is the last thing I want to talk about for this topic, and I shot you this little conspiracy theory of mine over the old texting earlier. I really think they signed some crazy deal with this Lithuanian club.
Yeah.
That like the Ball family and their media associates have like full control over what they do.
Yeah.
Because think about it from this Lithuanian club's perspective. No USA person other than maybe a Lithuanian who lives in the United States has ever heard of this team. Mm-hmm. Now we all know the name of this team in their league, and people are going to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I know for a fact I'll probably watch a few of their games just because I want to see what LaMelo Ball is doing and what Lavar Ball is doing on the sideline of a Lithuanian basketball team's game. Mm-hmm. That's funny to me. But, it's genius. Like, they're going to be able to just make this team into the Ball family team. And it's like they're all wearing Big Baller brand shoes. It's happening. They're going to have their logos on their uniforms.
Well, yeah, they play in the BBL league, so, I mean, they're one letter away from BBB.
They might change the name of the
Big
whole
Baller League.
The Big Baller brand league. Like, why not do it? I think this is LaVar Ball's most genius stroke of movement he's done in the last 6 months.
Yeah, I mean,
just from pure marketability, he's killing the game.
from a marketing perspective, yes. I think it's kind of like a genius move because you could basically make a Kardashian-esque style of show, which they already do on Facebook, and they could just make it a basketball-oriented show, showing the drama, showing the culture shock, because these kids, driving Lambos, driving all this stuff, stealing sunglasses, it's gonna be a huge culture shock for them. The food, it's not gonna be the same when they go to Lithuania. I promise you that.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be like a weird change for them, and I'm curious to see if they will be able to handle it. Because I mean, these are spoiled kids from Chino Hills,
rich kids
from Chino Hills. I mean, the shock from going from the most populated city in the world to a small village that has maybe 10,000 people. It'll be interesting to see if they can handle it. I'm sure LaVar Ball will make a living off that just because thinking about like the show itself, like I could already imagine what the episode is going to look like.
He's such a genius. Can I be honest? The more and more moves like this I see LaVar Ball make, the more I like him because he's such a genius. Like, he manipulates people to his will just like at the snap of his fingers. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. He's the Donald Trump of the basketball world. Can I be honest with you? And I don't mean like he's not like racist, whatever. He just like the way he manipulates people. Mm-hmm. It's so just
shrewd and
oh man, he's so good at it.
He's a businessman.
He's an absolute mogul.
I mean, you know what? If he might be like Trump, he might start his own Big Baller brand school to learn business.
It's got to be happening, right?
I mean, can you just imagine everything just BBB, BBBU,
BBBU,
BBB,
Why
computers.
Not, dude? Why not? This is the kind of move that sets a kid like LiAngelo up for the future because LiAngelo's not going to be getting his checks in the NBA. Yeah. So now let's make it in the business.
That's the only thing I'm worried about is that LaVar Ball still has the vision of LiAngelo playing in the NBA. I know we say he's not going to be.
I think he knows he's not, too.
I think his dad is telling him, no, don't think like that. You will make the NBA.
I think LaVar knows that. But I honestly think they all know that, Because there's no way they don't realize that he's not as good as the other two.
Well, I think he said that. He's already said that, LiAngelo's not the best out of the three brothers. But I think LaVar Ball still has this idea and mentality that he will be able to make the league. Maybe it's, a scout. Maybe it's a coach.
Or maybe this move is just to say, like, it is the Lithuanian league, but now, they're all professional basketball players.
Yeah. But I just think it was more of a move. Like, the reason why they went to the Lithuanian league, in my opinion, was because that team was the only team that would accept both brothers on the same team. And I think because LaVar Ball has this vision of all three brothers playing on the Lakers, playing together. Because LaVar said himself that if you put Lonzo with LiAngelo, like playing together, it's magic to him. It's like magic to what in terms of playing on the court. Which, I mean, it could be true in the high school level. Mm-hmm. NBA level, I'm not so sure. College, like a 10% chance that would work. But, I mean, I got to credit LaVar. He's one of those dudes that has an escape plan for if something doesn't work, like UCLA. He has a backup plan to that. And also with, just everything in terms of having the believability that, like, we could even say, you know what? Maybe in the future, LiAngelo does have a shot to make the NBA. Probably not, but he makes you believe that.
The thing that's blowing my mind is he's making me actually want to watch Lithuanian basketball. Take that into consideration because I know, we talk a lot of trash about the Ball family. And, I guess today I'm giving them a lot of credit. I feel like I'm championing the Ball family today. But if you're not at least interested to see what LaMelo Ball is doing in Lithuania, what the Ball family in general is doing in Lithuania, you're crazy because that's some entertaining stuff right there.
Yeah, I mean, it will be. The thing is, I'm not hating LaVar Ball in terms of, making a move that's best for him and his family because that's what he wants to do. I just don't think it's the right move right now in terms of because I think I see the reason why is because looking at all the draft express, looking at everything I see, LaMelo is the player that could have shown and showed what kind of player he could be in college.
Yeah.
But since he decided not to do that, he decided to train at home, homeschooled, play in a professional basketball league. I think it's going to be one of those things where we don't see it on a national TV, in terms of we don't see it on TV, but we see it on the new media platform, Facebook,
100%.
Instagram, YouTube. Hey, maybe they might even do a Twitch stream. You never know. But I'm curious to see how they do. I'm sure if LaMelo and LiAngelo score at least over 20 points, we will be hearing about it.
I can't wait.
Actually, you know what? I'll scratch that. If they score over 10 points, I think we'll be hearing about it.
Honestly, at least the first 5 games, we're going to hear everything they do no matter what.
ESPN will cover it. I guarantee you.
100%. 100%. Even if both of them,
shoot 0 for 10.
Don't even get on the court their first game.
Yeah.
We're going to hear
I think that's also another thing, and I forgot to mention that in their contract. They are supposed to have 25 minutes a game, so
he got the minutes per game written into the contract. He's a genius. He's a genius. That's all I need to say about it. Yeah. He's a genius.
I will be curious to see. I don't know if they can show it on the show or if they could show it as a different thing. Mm-hmm. I want to see the first practice when both those brothers come in the gym and you just see a bunch of angry Lithuanian dudes and one Ukraine dude. I know there's a Ukraine guy on the team.
They're probably all so excited. They're about to start making so much more money. Like if they come together as a team, right, and they support the Ball brothers, that they could be seeing some checks in the future.
Maybe. I will be curious to see because I know LaVar and all them are about the Ball brand. And, of course, some of the guys will support him, some of them won't.
Yeah. But there's definitely going to be some people who are not happy.
But, it is what it is. This basketball team, this coach signed these players for a reason to get more eyes on the product, more eyes on them, and we'll see if it works.
Love it. Is that going to do it for us on the charge extra?
The extra charge, man. That's going to do it for us, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Remember to check out the other videos coming out later this week. I'll be making sure that this comes out as soon as possible to you guys, and we got other videos talking about power rankings, LeBron, is he going to Houston, all that other stuff. You will find out on The Charge with me and my boy Pete over here. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of The Charge.
BBB!
Peace.